Hello friends, this is Shelley from Koala Knits and Knacks, and in this tutorial we are going to make these very beautiful and elegant Christmas trees. I used my Addi Egg and I used loops and threads, soft and shiny yarn in white, and then a few other things for embellishments that I show you in the video. But they are honestly as beautiful and as elegant as what they look like in this picture. This is not a there's no filters on this picture. This is exactly how it looks. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoy this tutorial, and please hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I would appreciate that so very much, and show me your finished work in my Facebook group. All right, so get all your supplies and we're going to get started. All right, so to begin this project, we are going to take our beloved Addi Egg. If you have it. If you don't, then you'll have to do a flat panel over about 5 needles on your machine and just make it as long as you want, and then you can sew up the side. I'm not going to demonstrate that today, but if you don't have an Addi Egg or an I-cord maker, then I would encourage you to get one. I had the legs on this, but I don't know what the purpose of those long legs are. They just like get in the way, because if you stand it up on your table, it doesn't work anyways, because as soon as the thing gets as long, as soon as your cord reaches the table, you've got to pick it up anyway. So I took it off, and it makes a difference on how I like my machine actually. I'm going to show you how an easy way is to thread this little guy, because it's not easy to do. I take a piece of thread. Okay, just a normal piece of thread. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. And I put it in half with the 2 open ends at the end, and I put those little open ends through there. See, just like that. Then I have a loop right there. I'm going to put my yarn, doesn't matter up or down, into there. Oops, I lost that one side. Let me do that again. You can make this a little bit longer so that it doesn't fall off, but I'm going to do that again. It doesn't usually do that, but I pulled it a little too far. Okay, put that up in there and pull it through just like that. Then you can take that off, and you've got your little yarn guide all threaded. Okay, now what we're going to do to cast on is I'm going to just bring I take a black marker, which I need to redo because this one's worn off, and I mark that black peg. I like to know where the start is. Not that on this little machine it really matters, but because you know what, you don't really count the rows anyways, but it's just, that's just how I am. I like to have a start and an end in case I do need to count rows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this underneath the base there, just so that it holds it. I'm going to turn once. Then I'm going to pick this up. So it's under that first needle. I'm going to pick this up, and then I'm going to just use my fingers to cast on, okay? Rather than lifting every second one up with the pick. So behind that second one, in front, behind, in front, and behind. That's my 6th one. And there we go. Now I'm cast on. Now I'm going to just knit my first row. I find that if I do not put any tension on this, it works best. Okay, I just got to let it go and be loose so that it has enough looseness in it to fall down over those needles and down over the red teeth. Okay, to get over that little bump that's on the needle. So I'm going to just knit a couple of rows here without the handle on there, and it's just going perfectly. Always having my loom pick in hand or close by in case I need it. Then I'm going to just pull down on this, see, just to tighten it. And I'm going to keep going. See, this one's not going to slip down, so I'm going to take my loom pick. And I am going to help it. And you often have to do that until this cord starts to come out the bottom. I don't use this little egg thing either, that heavy weight. I'll show you what I do. I do have a video on how to use the Addi Egg where I have used the weight, but that was when I first got this, and that's what worked for me. But now, without the legs and without the weight is how I like it. Okay, making sure there's always slack coming out of your ball. If you have to pull at all, then it makes it just harder. So you want to have all these little things, pay attention to them, okay? So make sure that that loop goes down over the red teeth. And again, for the first few rows until I can get this out of the bottom. you have to help some of these, and you do all the way around actually, and you can stick your finger in there. It does get easier where I can just do a bunch of rows without having to help any at all. But I'm talking in half sentences here because I'm trying to concentrate. But you can also use your finger and just push it down here, and it helps to push that loop down over the red teeth. Very, very easy to do. So it's not like you're, you know, struggling. It's just a simple little technique that helps get those little loops down over the red teeth. Until I can get this work coming out of the bottom there, then I'll show you what I do. I'm going to just stick with you. You can put the handle on if you like to, and I will eventually. I might not even have to use my finger here, but if I do, then I know that I can just keep going, and it's not going to tuck a stitch. Okay? Okay, so it's coming out the bottom, so that didn't take too long, did it? Okay, I'm going to put my handle on, which is way across the room, so I'll be right back. All right, there it is. So this is what I do. I hold it with my 2 fingers at the bottom there, and I just keep moving my fingers up, and I pinch it, and as I'm pinching it, I'm putting tension on it. Then I don't have to move that egg all the time, okay? So I'm just letting this go loose, making sure that I have tension, loose tension coming out of my ball. And then I'm just going to slowly crank. If you crank like a madwoman or madman, you will get tuck stitches. If you go nice and slow and you just give it a chance for those little loops to fall down that needle and onto the red teeth, and see, I'm going to pull this out and grab it with my 2 fingers. And I'm going to go slow like this until I have the desired length. I literally am, because then I can watch. And if there's one that's going to split like this little baby right here, I can fix it. Okay. My machine is squeaking. Sounds like it needs some grease, but I've never taken this thing apart. Well, no, it's not true. I have once because I had a broken needle, but okay, there we go. But I'm all staticky here. Let me just fix this up here. Okay, then I'm going to pull this out, grab it with my 2 fingers, hold my little machine here, and I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to keep going and going and going until I have a really long length, okay? You're not going to count rows. You don't even have to measure because you won't know how much you're going to need offhand, okay? I didn't make one and then rip it off to measure how much I used. You're just going to make a really long cord because it's very easy to shorten that cord if you've made it too long, okay? And if you've made it too short, you just make another one. But now this row is giving me some problems. I'm going to pull that down. And that will happen because if you get a section of yarn where it wants to snag, because this is a yarn that really likes to snag, but I just love the looks of it and it works well in this machine. So even though it snags every once in a while and you got to help them down, that's just like par for the course. That's just what you got to do. If you're expecting to get this Addi Egg, pull it down, tighten it, and just keep turning the handle and having a perfect little I-cord without having to stop and take your time to fix stitches and etc., then you'll be sadly disappointed. Everything takes work. That's why when people say, oh, you used a machine so it's not hand knit, in my humble opinion, that's malarkey because it still takes technique. It still takes time. It's just another way to knit. Okay, so I'm going to keep going till I get a really long cord. I think you get the gist of this. And when I get it quite long, I'll come back and see you, okay? And we'll cast off. All right, so I thought I'd pop on and show you. Every once in a while, I still have to stop and do this, but not very often anymore, because it's fairly long now, and it's starting to, because it's on the floor, it's starting to twist like this as I knit, and that gives it its own tension. So I'm just going really slow, and as I go slow, it gives that stitch time to drop down over those red teeth, and slow and steady wins the race. If I go fast, then I don't see a tuck stitch, and I don't want a tuck stitch. So I'd rather take my time and go slow. Okay, just like this. So I don't need to use my fingers anymore. But if you're having trouble, this is another way you can do. You can put your finger in there and push down and take it out, push down, and it's like every 3 stitches you're pushing down, and it's helping those little loops go over the red teeth. It's just another way you can do it, okay? But I'm not finding I'm needing to at this point because it's long enough, and again, it's on the floor. So that's providing enough tension in here. Because it's on the floor, it's not twisting, and so you can see how it's curling, and that's what's giving me my tension. And so yeah, it's working beautifully, except for now this one is splitting. You've seen how that was splitting, so I just got to back it up a little bit. Take your time. If you're in a hurry, you're going to get frustrated, but if you take your time, like this one's going to split, so I have to take that right off and put it right back on. Okay, but that doesn't happen very often. I find when I stop, that's when that's what happens. When I get in a good rhythm like this, I can keep going for a long time. Okay? So there you have it. All right, so we have our very long cord. I could keep going because I'm doing a couple trees, but I'm going to stop at that just for this tutorial. And we're going to cut off a tail that's long enough to go around the egg. Okay, not very long. We're going to take it out of that little yarn feeder. Then I'm going to just turn this so that all those loops are loose, okay? This one's going to get stuck. Okay, there, it's letting go of all the loops. I'm going to pull that through just like that. Then I'm going to put this yarn tail on my needle, and you're going to pick up all 6 of those little loops. Okay, so I'm going to go, and if you unravel a row in the process, don't worry about it. You just go till you get the next 6 loops and you pick them up. So I'm going to go through those 3. Okay, then through this one, and that one, and that last one there. And I've got all 6 loops caught. I'm going to pull on that. Okay, so now I've secured my end. But what I'm going to do is tie a little knot. Just like that, okay? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop this. You can do a second knot if you want, but this is going to be glue gunned onto our project, so it's fine. It's not going to come off, okay? But I'm going to hide that into there. Cut it off. I'm going to go ahead and hide the tail on this other end. This didn't take me that long. I can't give you an actual time because I was getting up and making lunch and doing a few things. But you know what? Not every project is a quick project, as we all know. And sometimes things take a little bit longer. And this didn't take long at all, but it does take some patience. So there we go. So you can persevere through it. I find it relaxing. There we go. I love it. Looks great. So I hope that you found that relaxing too. And because I took my time, I didn't get one tucked stitch because I watched as every needle went through. Went past that yarn feeder, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next part. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this heavy paper that I bought at the Dollar store. You can get it anywhere. It's just like that Bristol board. Oh, I don't know what you call this, but it's just a heavier heavier paper that you can use, and we're going to use it to cut out our circles. So what I did is I went and found 3 different sizes of my pot lids. This one is 7.5 inches. Then I did a 9.5, the medium size pot, and then this is a large size pot. Okay, so I'm sure you have a pot lid at home that you can use. So we are going to do this big one together, okay? Okay, so yeah, this is called, what is it? poster board. That's the word I was looking for and couldn't think of. It's poster board. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I cut that circle out and I'm going to put it in half. And I'm just going to press in the middle there just because I need to find the center. Okay, I can take that off. And then I'm going to bend it the other way. Just in the center there, because there's my middle piece right there. That's the very center of this piece. Okay, so again, we bent it in half this way, and then we bent it in half this way, and just pressed at the center, and I can see that indent there. So I'm going to pick any point on here, but I might as well just follow up that line. And I'm going to cut straight down. Take a longer scissor, because it will help you to that point. And I went a little crooked, you can see that, but that's okay. All right, so now that that's cut, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to, here's where the 1/4 is right here, but I'm going to go just in a little bit. And I'm going to just cut a little piece out of here because this is pretty thick poster board, and it's going to get in my way. So I'm going to just cut that there. And I see that I did a little tear right here. And make sure this shiny side is on the inside because I think the glue will stick better to the more matted side. And then you're going to take that piece and you're going to just roll it into each other just like that. Okay? Till you get it into the cone shape that you want. You might have a little problem with that tearing because mine did, but that's okay because all you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of tape and you're going to tape it down just like that. Okay? Not a bother in the world, not a worry. Easy to fix. Okay? So that is as tight as I want it. So I'm going to now take one little piece of tape and I'm going to just tape this just like this, okay? Just so that I can then take my glue gun and I'm going to just put a bead of glue right underneath there and I'm going to hold it down to secure, okay? And I'm going to let it dry for a minute. Okay? Just like that. You can buy the styrofoam cones, you know, wherever you buy your crafts supplies, and they will work great too. But I chose to do it with poster board just because for those of you who aren't able to get to a craft store and, you know, aren't able to get some of those styrofoam cones as easily as what others might be able to. So you just know that you can do it with a white paper too. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry just like that. And there we go. We've got our cone shape. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the piece that we made. My ends are hidden and we're going to start gluing that on now as well. All right, so we've got our piece and I hid my ends on the inside. Okay, and we're going to simply take our piece, and yes, one end is higher because that happens when you curve it, but it still sits straight when you're done. Okay, we're going to take our glue and we're going to just start by placing a little bead of glue there. You know, I should have maybe started here because that's going to be where the back is, but that's okay. And I'm going to just line this up just like this. And then I'm going to continue around. Doesn't get much simpler than this, my friends. And I'm going to go all the way around to the other side, pressing that down just slightly as I go. Being careful not to burn yourself. This glue gun is a hot one. Okay, pressing that down. You know, and if you can keep your rows as straight as possible, then that's great. Like if I have this all curved like this, then it does take away. Attention to detail is everything. I mention that all the time. And if you can try to keep it straight, then it'll look nicer in the end. Okay, so now I'm gonna bring this down. Straight meaning your rows, this not all twisting like this and having your rows going sideways. You want to have them fairly straight, okay? So I'm going to just get this to the end here to meet up with this other piece. Just like so. And then once that's down, I'm going to literally put a bead of glue. Let me get this little thing out of the way. I'm going to go just a little bit higher, not right on the piece, not right on the very top of the last row, but just a smidgen higher. Then I'm going to just bring this up like that and over. Okay. And again, I'm letting it fall with its natural tension. I'm not pulling like this as I go. You don't want that tight, and you don't want it too bunched up and loose. You just want it to fall nicely. So I'm going to continue around. I need to add another glue stick, okay, just like this, lining up the rows so that they're close to each other. Okay, I'm going to just keep going. Okay, and lay this down, just like that. Come back to this side here, and I'm going to glue it right close, just like that. Press it down, and then to begin the next row, I'm going to put a little bit of glue up here. Then I'm going to hold this down with my thumb where the seam meets, and then bring it up and over. Okay, and I'm going to continue around. You'll have a little divot right there, but that's okay. That's the back, and it looks nice anyways. You're going to keep doing that until you get all the way around your cone and up to the top. And when I get to the point, I'll come back and we will finish off the top part together. Okay. All right, I'm at the top, and you see I have lots left over. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap this around. I'm going to glue it in a minute, but I'm just going to wrap it around to see where I need to cut it off. And that is where I'm going to end, but I'm going to go up just a little bit, maybe a row. You literally cut it off, okay? Just like that. Stick that aside. Then you're going to pull out all these little loose things, just like that. Then you're going to find an end. So if you just take this and you pull it out, just pull it till you have this long enough, and you still have your 6 loops, but this is long enough. It's all I need to close that end. So I'm going to put this back on my needle. Okay. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to pinch that one so I can pull that through. 5, and then this one was already caught, but this is the 6th one. Make sure you go through it and pull that through and pull, and you've closed that end off. Okay, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to tie just a little knot in here to secure, just like that. Then I'm going to hide this end, cut it off, put some glue all the way up to the top there, just like that. Then I'm going to continue that around, bring this up, and bring it into its natural point, just like that. Okay, then what I want to do is I just want to put a tiny wee little bit. You don't want to see the glue, so be very careful. Just a dab will do ya right there, and push it down. And look how beautiful that point is. Okay, so now we have our paper cone wrapped. Okay, there's the underside. It's sitting beautiful. Now we're going to grab our ribbon. I have a beautiful gold ribbon here that I'm going to glue on, and I'm going to start at the top. So I'm going to take a little tiny bead of glue, just put it right there, and you use whatever ribbon you love. And I'm going to just hide this underneath that little point right where I was before, okay? Just like that. And then I'm gonna just cover it with one more little dab of glue and hold that down. And so you see it's like coming out of there and you don't know it. I mean, you don't see an end, okay? And then what I'm gonna do, it's naturally taking this way, but I like to go this way, so I'm gonna go this way. I'm going to follow, maybe I'm going to go this way. It doesn't matter, whatever works best for you, okay? And you're going to just follow that grain. So I'm going to, because my other one, like I've already done another one and it's going this way, so I want them to sit together. So I'm going to actually do this. Sorry for the confusion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue right there. Like there's hardly any. You do not want to see glue on your project. press down. Then I'm going to keep going around like this and down at an angle. And I'm going to have this a little bit looser, just like that. I'm going to position where I want it. I'm going to put a little dot, just ever so small, so just very tiny. You don't want to see it. And I'm going to do that all the way around, however I want to place my ribbon, okay? My lines are going up this way a little bit, so I'm going opposite of that with this. So if that bothers you, then just go the other way. But you know what? You can't even tell. You're not going to notice at all. But I just wanted my angle to be going the same way as if it's sitting beside the next one that I do. I've done one already. This will be my third one, the smallest one. I want my ribbon to be going in the same direction, okay? So that's important. If you're doing a cluster of these, make sure you pay attention to that, because you just want it to look nice together, okay? So we're gonna just put that down. I see where the other one, and if you can stay at all, if you can put your bead of glue on where your seam was, that's the best thing, okay? If you can't, that's okay. But that's what I'm trying to aim at. Every seam gets one. So now I'm going down to this next seam. So I went into this one, this is one row, and I went into that seam. Now I'm going into this one but down here as I go around. That's how I'm spreading it out, okay? Because then it's consistent and even all the way around, no matter what angle you're doing it, okay? So I'm in that seam there, and I'm gonna go down to this next one. And I pray that I'm in the camera, because if not, well, I guess I'll be redoing the video, this part on the next one. Okay, then I'm going to keep going around just like so. Almost done. Okay. Good thing I have 2 of these ribbons, because I'll have enough for my neck. I have one more tree to do. And then I'll have a cluster of 3 different sizes. So you just take a pencil, you trace around your lid, you put your lid down and you trace it around, and then you cut it off. Couldn't be any easier. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bead right there. Just like that. Then I'm going to cut this there. And I'm going to go ahead, put a little dab right on the corner there, on the very end, bring it under, and glue it down. And this part is done. Isn't that beautiful? Like, it's really very, very beautiful. All right, so from there, I bought some glitter. Oh, my poor nails, they're getting covered in glue. I bought some glitter, and I'm gonna do this mostly over the garbage can, but I'm gonna do it just a little bit here to show you. Let me just fix this camera just a smidgen, okay? I am not gonna put glue on here, like, to have the glitter adhere to it, because it's gonna just stick to it, and what sticks to it will shine, and I don't want a heavy layer anyways. So I am just going to, don't be scared. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm going, come on. It'll eventually come out of there. See, I'm just trying not to overdo it there. That might be better. To lightly sprinkle this with glitter. Then I'm going to shake it off in the garbage can, because I don't want blotches of glitter. I'm going to shake it. Actually, I did this on the last tree over the garbage can, so I didn't have glitter all over my floor, but I'll take one for the team and do it for you. Okay, so I'm going to do this all the way around, putting a light coating or light glitter on the project. My ribbon is gold, so that's why I chose gold. If you use a silver ribbon or whatever color you make that matches, you just go ahead and pick which one works best for your project. Oops, oh, that's too bad. Oh, we'll shake that off. Okay, so I'm going to shake this off in a second. Maybe I do want a little tiny bit more. Now I'm getting brave, see? Can somebody come over and vacuum for me when I'm done this, please? Okay, so I'm going to shake this off in the garbage, and then I'll come back. I'm going to clean up my station, and then I'll be right back. All right, so there it is. Just a very light dusting of glitter. And as a matter of fact, I'll take some of it off, because I want this to be like cream color with just a little bit of shimmer. And that's what I'm getting. That's the back. Okay. And so if you have a little bit too much, you just knock it off, and some is naturally going to stay on there. Now, I'm sure you can buy spray glitter that will stick better. I've never used it, never seen it. If you can't get it, somebody should invent it and patent it. You'd probably be very rich. You're welcome. But anyways, I like doing it this way because it's going to stay on there. Like just a very, very light dusting of glimmer. And you see just little gold sparkles. And you might not be able to see it so well with the lights when I have it on camera. When I take a picture of it with the lights on it, because that's what I'm going to do. And you might not, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see the gold in the picture or video or not, but I hope you can. But if you can't, just know it's there. I can see it. And if you put a very light dusting of gold glitter on yours as well, or if you decorate with silver, do a silver glitter, or if you make a blue one, do blue, however you do it. And it just gives it a little bit of shine, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, friends, here they are. I just love them. Thank you so much for joining me. I would love to see the ones that you make, so please join my Facebook group. The description will be below. And show us all in that group the trees that you have made. Oh, I would just love to see them so much. Okay, but thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being a part of this wonderful community of friends and crafters. I really appreciate you guys. See you in the next video.